What's going on, ladies and gentlemen? I got a special guest for you on Check the Rock podcast. We got my girl Kimberly Clark, Miss Sports Bay. How you doing?
I am wonderful. How are you?
I'm doing pretty good, doing pretty good. So, I wanted to give you a little background on Kimberly. She went to Alabama A&M. She's from Alabama. She has so many different things under her belt, from from business owner to team owner to president of a new basketball league. So she's been doing a little bit of everything, Miss Kimberly Clark. So it's such a pleasure to have you.
Well, I am so glad to be here. I'm glad I met you
Yeah.
at the symposium, and I'm glad you reached out.
So since you mentioned the symposium, I do want to get into that. What was your experience like at the symposium? So I do want to ask you two questions. First part is, what was your takeaway from the symposium, and then
Mhm.
what was your favorite session?
So I think my takeaway from the symposium was that we have more power than we think. That it's time for us to go to work. This is the time for us to take the lead. And if we drop the ball this time, we don't know if we can get it back.
For sure. I'll say this, not to cut you off, but I will say this. It's exciting, and it's to have people that believe in you. Gregory
Yeah,
Gibson, him believing in us. To go to ESPN and ask for. I want to say he said 7 figures, 8 figures,
yeah.
to be able to pull that off. So that's amazing in itself. And what was your favorite session, or who was your favorite speaker?
You know what? I feel so bad. I can't remember that lady's name. I have her book though. Uh, the lady with the Green Bay Packers and the Milwaukee Valerie Carter. That's her
Okay,
name.
that's her name.
Valerie Carter. I can't think of her name.
The minority owner
She
for
was
yeah.
she was surprisingly because I honestly had never heard of her.
Me neither.
So she had me like all like she had me reevaluate my whole life. she when she got through, she just kind of let you know that she is she believes in us. Like she let you know that you're not here by happenstance. You're here for a reason. It wasn't for everybody to get here. And you're here. And there's a reason why you're here. And it's time for you to get to work and do it. And I also like the fact that she owned her faith. She was not afraid to discuss her faith, letting you know that her faith guided her through. That her faith is what she stands on and how she got there, and that's how she stays where she is because of her faith.
Most definitely, most definitely. So yeah, I mean, it's interesting that you said that. I remember that session myself too. She was up there like preaching, and
Yeah.
it remind me kind of not remind me, but the ET session was kind of similar where he talked about his faith too, and I thought that was very interesting. I thought it was great. I talk about my faith a lot too, so I
Me
think it's
too.
great when people don't hide it, and you're able to be who you are, because we live in a culture of when they like to cancel everything and
Cancel
cancel this and
everything.
cancel that. So it's great to see
You might
people that
not be woke enough because you have faith.
yeah.
I don't have a religion, but I do believe in a higher power. I believe in God. So I don't think that should hinder anyone from, working with anybody or letting them, move forward. But it's important that to see people like ET. We count the last leg of ET
Hmm.
because I got there late. So it was hard to hear him. I think I heard like the last 2 minutes.
Yeah.
But Valerie Carter was the one that just kind of, I mean, honestly, I left there from her and got to, I think we went to eat, and at the Omni, we went to a restaurant there. And then I think I went and met up with my husband afterwards. And by the time we walked by Centennial Park and by the time we got in the truck, I just broke down. He was like, "What's wrong?" I was like, "I love Miss Baby Card. I gotta get in order because I gotta be like her."
Yeah, yeah, I definitely understand. See, I had my my wife down there too. I know I was one of the few people that, I guess we were one of the few people that actually bought our significant other, and
Spouses, yeah.
that's great. My son, the newborn, I think at the time he was 8 9 weeks, he was able to go too. So that's pretty amazing. So what I kind of want to get into is, tell me about you. So give me a little brief history about you, and tell me how you got to the point to where you got to now, and then we'll go from there.
It's definitely a story for the books. I was a um I was a teen mom. I was raised by my village. My village was very involved in my life. My grandparents, my aunts. I am the only child from my mother and father. So all my cousins are my brothers and sisters. So I grew up around Black excellence. My grandmother, her siblings, my cousins, on my grandma's side, on my mom's side, rather, and on my dad's side, my aunts, my uncles, my all of them went to HBCUs, sometimes multiple HBCUs, but they'll get a bachelor's from one and a master's from another. But everyone went to a HBCU, so I grew up in that culture. But unfortunately, well, I ain't gonna say unfortunately, at the time, I just, was still finding my way as a teenager, and I ended up having a baby my senior year of high school. I had her that day, December, and I was graduating that May. And I missed some credits, which caused me not to be able to graduate.
Oh wow.
Yeah, so I had to go get my GED. And I think what hurt me the most was I had scholarships for college, to all HBCUs, but I couldn't accept them because she was premature and she was sick. So I had to stay at
Yeah.
home and raise my kids. So I never got to pursue my dream of attending the HBCU at that time. But I was able to go see all my friends that went to college. So I had that experience. But I was also able to have very unique opportunities because I seemed to always be in the right place at the right
Right
time,
time.
which would lead me to today. So I started off here at Cox Media.
Mhm.
I'm at 17 years old, the youngest Black female to work at the radio station in the city at the time. I started off in research and promotions there. In between time, I would um, teach preschool, but still pursuing my dream. I thought of working in the entertainment industry. That's just really what I thought I was going to do. My dad was a singer, and he used to travel with bands like the Controllers and Lattimore. So I just knew, oh, I'm gonna either sing, I'm gonna do something like that. Was
Yeah.
what I thought. That's what I really thought. So I would work. I worked at the radio station, which afforded me the opportunity to work with several record labels to create street teams and work on in their promotions departments. And still, I held down a regular job while I pursued my dream.
Jeez.
And then I fell into the nonprofit sector, and I fell in love because I always loved whatever I did. I always did something to give back. So I was like, okay, this is perfect for me. And then I can just bring in entertainment, and I figured out ways to do fundraisers and bring in entertainment for that. So I really worked in nonprofit for several years. And in between time, I still got to work for a few record labels, help do some concerts, things of that nature. Keep in mind, sports was never on my radar. So I was well, not really interning, but my mom was a friend with a city councilman. And he was like, "What are you doing this summer?" And I was like, "This summer, nothing. I'm not traveling to Texas. I'm not
Yeah.
going to Atlanta. I'm not doing anything. I'm chilling this summer. Like, I'm going to enjoy it." He was like, "No, you're not. I need you to come help me do some work." So he was trying to bring semi-professional sports to our city, to Birmingham, Alabama.
Mhm.
So that's kind of how I got introduced to the business side. But just the idea of bringing it, but still with that, because I was did that when the teams would come, I was able to work in their promotions and entertainment department.
So
So it
you
was
so you
cool.
you
So I
brought it
was,
all back full
yeah,
circle.
yeah. So I was able,
Yeah.
okay, I can do this. So in between that time, I still worked in nonprofit, and I was able to start working at a men's homeless shelter, which blessed me with the opportunity to get the Magic City Surge,
Mhm.
and then from there, here I am.
Most definitely. So I do want to dive into a couple of things that you said. First of all, I want to commend you for? Because a lot of people that that had a child when you had one, ain't made it as far as you made it, or ain't made it, use that as an excuse not to go anywhere. My mom, she had a child when she was 17 and 19. So
Mm.
to see her bounce back was amazing too. But that's amazing because you still was able to go to college. I know you didn't throw that part in there, but you still was able to
Oh
go to
yeah,
Alabama A&M
yeah. So yeah,
and get
I became a non-traditional.
yeah,
Yeah,
and
so
get your
I'm still in school now, so I'm a non-traditional student. A lot of my classmates don't know I'm as old as I am, like at the symposium, but it's okay. I like that. I love it. So yeah, and you know what I call it? At first, I'm not. I'm gonna be honest, because I mean, I think my testimony is gonna help somebody. It was a point where I believe what people said because I had a GED. I couldn't never do hair or work here or work there. I believe that. And I tried to do that, but that was just not for me. And it took and I honestly didn't know that I could have still went to college with my GED and my scholarships. Nobody ever told me, "Oh,
Everybody never
Kim, you
told
still
you.
can go to school." I could have just went to the school that was here in my city. I still could have went. Nobody told me. Nobody encouraged me to either. So, that's just I think that's what is different with this generation and generations to come is that people are more empowering and encouraging, and I want to be in that number of people. But I like to say this. I At first it was post-traumatic stress disorder, and I decided to change it around to post-traumatic growth. I was going to let my trauma help me grow. And so that's what I've used and got me this far today.
So you talked about, so I know you're big on HBCUs. You talked about how a lot of people in your family went to HBCU. So I got a two-part question for you. So I want you to talk about the gap between HBCUs and PWIs, but I also want you to let us know. I mean, let the people know what's some things that we can do that they can do, right? Because I know
Mhm.
you're doing a lot, and I know everybody has their own battle. So what's some stuff that they could do to help bridge the gap between HBCUs and PWI?
Well, I'll start off with saying the difference, the gap. The gap is the atmosphere. You're at a place where your culture is not there, your community is not there. So that's the biggest gap. Well, I'm not gonna say the biggest, that's one of the biggest, is the
One of the biggest
atmosphere of the prospective communities that are involved. The second biggest gap is finances. We love our HBCUs, so it's time to give money to them.
gaps. Speak on it.
Yeah. So, and I knew this before even attending the HBCU. My grandma passed, and when she passed, it just really hurt her because Morris Brown was closed down at the time when she passed. And she was always saying, I just want to be able to give them some money. They're not open. And I just, I know her generation, my uncles, they went to Howard Fisk University. So they were always giving big checks, even in their death. So I, I don't know what happened after that, but just like we need food and water to survive, HBCUs need our money. So we are hoping with this that we are able to empower a movement in the financial part of supporting the HBCUs. Now, to your second part of the question, um, what what can others do? What can we all do? Definitely making sure that we're giving back financially, making sure that any resources that we have can benefit not just administration but our students, that we're offering them. This world is not getting any better. Even though it seems like we have so many opportunities, we still don't. We really don't. There's no opportunities of our own. So leave, give back, reach back, create stuff of our own, so that when it boils down to it, when our students, when our community, when our culture needs somewhere to go, we have somewhere to go,
I got you.
where we
And
don't have to worry about our braids, and we don't have to worry about how if we want to wear a dashiki to work, you don't make anyone feel uncomfortable because that's who you are. This is just who we are.
For sure, and I definitely agree with you. Finances is a big gap. They talk about that a lot, and a deciding factor for athletes. And I will say this: I think when I was coming up, because the closest HBCU to me is Fayetteville State University, so that's like right up the street from where I grew up. And the stigmatism around Fayetteville State for us was always that if you go there, you're not really going nowhere. You know what I mean?
And
So
that's yeah. I
y-
always heard stuff
yeah,
like that about HBCUs.
yeah, if you're going somewhere there, you're not. But it's funny because people looked at the other HBCUs different, like Winston-Salem State. I'm just speaking on the North Carolina ones.
Yeah.
Winston-Salem State, A&T, Central, different stuff like that. But it's like Fayetteville State now. Fayetteville State is doing a whole lot better than it's ever done, and I like to credit that to uh to this movement. You know what I mean? To this HBCU movement, and I know Deion Sanders and many others have had a key in that. And I will say this, Eric Thomas alluded to something that you kind of said, and that's when you get through the door, leave the door crack. Don't close the door.
Yeah.
Leave the door crack for somebody else. So that's very important. So I do want to talk about because not only do you have the Magic City, I'm not sorry, the Magic City Surge, I said it right, in the ABA. You also have the Birmingham Ravens too. So,
Yeah. So I
mhm,
had the Magic City Surge, and I did have the Birmingham Ravens. I was not actually I was just a part owner.
mhm,
I was coming in as an investor, and unfortunately, it was not able to get off the ground because Birmingham, Alabama did not have a space for arena football
okay,
anymore because
gotcha.
we had the squadron here, the G League team, and they utilized the only facility that could
That,
hold
that could hold it.
arena football. So we were not able to pursue that, which I was sad because I love arena football. We had the Birmingham Steel Dogs years ago. Several of my friends played for them. So I was excited to bring it back because it gave them something to get involved in after arena football, but we were not able to do it. So I was kind of sad about it, but I see why now. It probably didn't get off the ground because God had something bigger coming my way.
Yeah, he most definitely did. So tell me about the Magic City Surge. What has it been since 2017? How long have you been
5 years. We have been
okay.
around for 5 years. We are the longest lasting semi-professional or professional um, basketball team in the city of Birmingham. So we have been around. It has not been easy. Like I didn't have any formal business training when I got this team, but I just had some great people around me. I've always surrounded myself with great people, not even on purpose, just that's the type of people that I attract and that I'm attracted to are go-getters, people that are doing something, people
Go
that
get it.
want to see things happen because it's going to benefit somebody else. It's not always about them. It's about what am I doing to help somebody else, that servant leadership. So I was just able to be around those people and they were able to kind of guide me, give me pointers. Kind of, I had been around them handling business, so I knew some of the basic stuff. And I got the team off the ground in 2017 with the help of my husband. And the story is so funny. I was really looking for an opportunity for someone else, and it kind of fell in my lap for me to get the team. Like
Mhm.
honestly, like God just kind of said it right here and was like, "Okay, this is what you about to do. I'm gonna show you why." And so when negotiations came about, it was a particular thing I prayed about and I said, and it happened to the T, like
Mm.
right in my face, like down to the dots and the crossing T's and all that stuff.
Wow,
And I was
huh?
just like looking at God, like, really, really?
Won't
Okay,
he
this
do
is
it?
how you gonna do it? Yeah, like I don't know nothing about this. Like, what you want me to
Yeah.
do? So it happened. It went well. We kind of slowed down, of course, because of Corona. Then we had the squadron come in. So what we didn't want to do is we didn't want to compete
Hmm.
because we played at the same, our schedules were pretty much the same. Like we might even play on the same day. So I decided to step back and find other opportunities for the Surge. So they are actually going to be touring internationally, still playing in the United States. So there's a big announcement coming for that pretty soon, so you'll know.
Breaking news, ladies and gentlemen. Breaking news. Nah,
So yeah, that's our baby. So we can't let her go. And I was getting back to the funny story. So when all that happened with the team, it was just like, okay, I'm gonna sign this contract. I'm gonna pay this money. Da, 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 da. So I did it, and then I called my husband. I was like, "Hey, what you doing?" He was at work. He was like, "Nothing. What you doing?" I was like, just got home." He said, "Okay, well, I'll be home in a little bit." He said, "What's up?" I said, "Oh, we on a semi-professional basketball team, and I'll talk to you later." And hung up the phone.
that sounds like
He
something.
called me back. He was
Sound
like,
like
"What you
something my wife
just
might do.
say?"
That's crazy. All
Yeah,
right.
yeah,
So
real
yeah,
crazy.
I mean, it's you've been doing a lot. Philanthropist. Like you said, giving back, doing stuff for your community. You've been really been doing a lot for the community of Birmingham, and I know they greatly appreciate it. So I do want to talk about this HBCU pipeline. For the people that don't know about the HBCU pipeline, talk to them about it.
So what we want to, I know what we want to, what we are creating,
Yeah.
yes, what we are creating is a pipeline for our youth
Mhm.
and our HBCUs. One thing we want to increase admission. Well, let me start. Increase awareness. There are a lot of kids that don't even really know what HBCUs are, where they are, who they are. So
Mhm.
increasing awareness, increasing admission rates, retention, and graduation rates. That's what the pipeline is all about. And you start that by starting off young, starting in elementary school, introducing them to HBCUs, following them throughout their educational career, and, and guiding them along the way to make that decision of which one they want to go to, but also working with the colleges to kind of reach back because in our underserved and underrepresented communities is there's where the gap is with the awareness of the HBCU. So we want to make sure that we are bringing light on our HBCUs. We want to let them know how great they are. We want to let them know that this is their community, their culture, and that it's like a big family reunion when you go. And your auntie is your professor, your uncle is your professor, your dean is your grandma or your granddad.
Yeah.
They're gonna be on you because it's important. I used to tell my clients when I worked at the homeless shelter, they'll say all the time, "I don't have nothing to prove to nobody." I'll be like, "Yes, you do. You got something to prove to yourself.
Yeah.
You got something to prove to everybody else." We got to do it. There's no I don't see any other options. I've never known any other option. So we got to do it. That's just it. That's just
Got you.
it. We
Yeah.
just got to do it. Sound like
Most
my grandma
definitely.
told me, there's no other option. That's what you're gonna do.
And it's interesting that you said that. I work at a middle school, and this
Mhm,
summer, one of the things that we did was we took our eighth graders, our that's going from eighth grade to ninth grade. We took them
mhm,
to Fayetteville State and took them on a tour. See, that's the first time that a lot of them have seen a college campus. They got a chance to go to the arena, the Capel Arena, the basketball arena. They got a chance
mhm.
to, go to the football field. They got a chance to see the dorm rooms. They got a chance to see a few classrooms as well. So I thought that's pretty interesting. And then later on this summer, we're supposed to be taking them to I want to say A&T or something like that. So
Mhm.
that's good that you mentioned that, and that's great. If there's anything I could do to help you with the pipeline, let me know. Now,
Def definitely, definitely. We need all hands on deck.
for sure. So this is I call it check the rock. I call this check the rock. What we do. Check the rock in basketball. That's what we talk
Okay.
about. So I really want to get to, the meat and potatoes of this thing. Well, everything is the meat and potatoes, right? But I really do want to get
Everything.
to that you've just been appointed the president of the HBCU Basketball Association. So how did this happen? How did this happen? And how does it feel? How does it feel to be a part of something this great?
Tyrus, you tell me how it happened. I don't know. So I have a good friend, Kevin Williams Sr. He
Mhm.
is the director of basketball operations for the league. He came up with the idea of a HBCU professional team only.
Mm-hmm.
Well, that was right down my alley because on the Magic City Surge, 90%, over 90% of our players play at HBCUs. That I
HBCU.
always kept my eyes on players from HBCUs to give them those opportunities. So when he came to me with the idea, well, he was already in motion. He had everything in motion for the team. He's like, and I want you to spearhead it. I was like, I'm down. This is perfect. This is definitely
Yeah,
my
that's
niche. This is
right up
it,
your
right?
wheelhouse.
Yeah. So only problem was, so my business partner Kevin and I both are Geminis. We're a couple of days apart. So we bump heads a lot. We get stuff done, but certain stuff we bump heads a lot because both of us are very strong minded, but we know how to agree to disagree, but we also know how to compromise and make things work. So we were bumping head for months about where to put this, what league to put this team in. I was saying we should do this. He was saying, well, we should put them here. And I'm like, I'm terrified to put them in anybody else's league because it's too important. It's too special. We don't need them to be connected to anything that will tarnish the brand.
Yeah, tarnish the brand. You're right.
Anything that we can't control will tarnish the brand. So we went back and forth and we tabled it, came back, table it again. It's just a team now. So then, because we just couldn't figure it out, so we was like, okay, how about we just tour and play other, just different teams, blah blah. So that still didn't seem right because then that mean we only gonna be able to get 10 guys from HBCUs when there's a million of them out here.
Mm-hmm.
No, that's not gonna work either. So we're not able to get everybody opportunities. So okay, what's next? So a friend of his suggested, hey, with the experience y'all have in basketball, why not have your own league? Kind of thought about it. That was a great idea. We started working on it. Scared the mess out of us. We got nerve. Oh, do you know how big this is? We not. We can't pull this off. We tabled it a couple of times. And I thank God for for Kevin's parents and brother. They kind of talked to him. Was like, why would y'all not do this? Like, y'all can do. If anybody can do it, y'all can do it. Why y'all don't want to do what is scaring y'all? It's so important because it's way bigger than anything we've ever done,
Mm-hmm.
and it's way more important. It is so important. It is so, I tell people all the time, I believe in people living out their dreams to fulfill their purpose. Why?
Sure.
Because those what ifs can tear you down. Well,
Yeah.
what if I just would have went on and tried?
Mm-hmm.
What if I would have had the opportunity? You know why I know? Because I used to say, what if I wouldn't have done this? Or what if I just would have not listened to everybody and went on to college? Where would I be at now? And I know that stagnated me for a long time. And I just would not want to see anybody, and I don't, and I make sure I don't see anybody else going through that. That is like that can really stop you from living your full potential. That what if? So semi-professional teams are important for those guys that want to play on the next level and can't get in the NBA or the G League. Those semi-professional teams are important and need to be supported for these young men. The surge, my guys, I'm going to the NBA, I'm going overseas. But as they played, they realized they had talents and gifts in other areas.
Mm-hmm.
So one that might have been going to the NBA is a trainer now. Another one is a athletic director and a coach and a trainer. Someone else is a professional singer. So like everybody, they started off dribbling that ball, dribbling that ball, that dream, dribbling their dream, dunked them right into their purpose. And now they're living their full life and they're just continuing to grow. So it's just so important that we do this and give these guys this opportunity. There are so many great players that we have watched on these courts during their college career that you wonder what happened to them. What happened when they got swallowed up in the world? They didn't have the opportunity to play anymore right when they were at the height of their career, when they should be moving forward, still playing, they're still able to, they're not. Now they're playing pickup ball, street ball, things of that nature. Out there killing somebody on the court unfairly in the rec league because they still got it in them. So,
Because still
this
got
is
it. You're
how
right.
we want to play on that next level, on that big stage.
And showcase their talent. So that's
Yeah.
great that you're giving these guys the opportunity. And I mean, that's great. Like I said, we want to give you, credit for everything that you've done for, for people, for bringing awareness. We need more people to bring awareness. We need more Kimberly Clarks. So, before we get out of here, I want you to let the people know, where can they find you if they want to help out with the HBCU Basketball Association, or if they just want to get in contact with you? Where can they get in contact with you at?
Okay, so in order to reach us, you can go to www.thehbcuba.com. That's thehbcuba.com. If you are interested in investing, being a sponsor, you want to see how you can join the team as far as working on staff, hit contact us. That email will go to our admin and they'll make sure that we get it. If you are a player and you want to try out, go to that same website, click on tryouts, and submit your information. As of, was it last week or week before last? I know we have over 23 guys in our portal right now.
Okay.
And we've only, let's see, we've been up for like 2 weeks, maybe two and a
Yeah,
half.
but that's
So
when
we
it's
already,
starting
we
to go.
haven't we haven't done that major social media push or the major outlet. We haven't even put out those big releases yet. So that's kind of let you know right now that it's something that needs to be done. If anyone wants to contact me, they can still contact me through the website. You can follow me on social media at Sports Baby Ham on Instagram and on Facebook. Follow me. You can hit my DM up. I do respond. If I don't respond, my assistant does, but she kind of deciphers what I need to get to. So anything, even if it's a thank you, I make sure that I say, give me the phone. I want to let them know personally. Thank you so much for
Mhm.
even recognizing what we're doing. So I'm just excited about what's to come. I'm glad I met you at the ESPN
Yeah,
Black
for
Sports
sure.
Symposium. I'm looking forward to see you all next year. Next year, it'll be on and popping for us. So
Oh yeah, yeah. So
yeah,
yeah, it's gonna be crazy. I don't know if it's gonna be in Atlanta again. I know that's what they were looking at, but it could be anywhere. But I
it could
think
be anywhere.
Atlanta's a dope spot. But it was nice meeting you as well too. And I do want to say this: if you do, I hit her up on LinkedIn and she hit me right back. So she's telling the truth. If you hit her, she's not gonna hit you with the Varnell Hill, the Hollywood, and did you miss me? No, I'm just messing with you. She's not gonna hit you with that and not respond. But like I say, Miss Clark, Miss Kimberly, we do appreciate you and we do thank you. And we're definitely looking forward to seeing what you're doing again. And if I'm ever down in Alabama, I'm gonna come try and check out some games. And I'm gonna come try and scout some
Definitely,
talent.
definitely. And just before we leave the season, so tryouts and combines are in January. The draft is the week before the Super Bowl. The season starts in April
Okay.
and it'll run through June. So, but keep in mind, you're gonna watch the schedule because it's not gonna be quite a schedule you think it is. You're gonna be like, oh, this is about to go down when you see the schedule. So y'all get ready for
Wow.
that as well. And we're just excited for it to start. Looking forward to seeing you all again. And as I get new information, I'll make sure I send it straight to you.
Oh
All
yeah,
right.
for sure. And I put it out, to my village, to my peoples, and I'll put it out
Yeah.
to them. So, like I said, we appreciate you coming through. And like I said, that was Miss Kimberly Clark, philanthropist, owner, president, of a league. I mean, she's just doing everything and it's phenomenal. And y'all just make sure y'all check her out and make sure y'all go to HBCU movement.com and make sure y'all check her out and check out the league and find out what's going on. And like she said, if you hit her up, she will respond. All right. We'll see y'all later.
All right. Thank you. Bye bye.